I am so excited for a new week, and I want to talk about why the word mindset is it's getting a little polluted, and I want to talk about that today. And I want to talk about what you can really do instead of thinking about mindset and actually start to train your brain to get into success patterns so that you can actually have the success that you want. And if we don't know each other, I am super excited to be here with you. My name is Dr. Shannon Irvine, and I help entrepreneurs do exactly what I'm going to talk about today. Train your brain, train your mind so that you can lean in, learn to tap into what's inside of you already, and train your mind for success. Why I don't love the word mindset and why I feel like it's getting a little bit polluted right now is that everybody and your grandmother is talking about mindset, but not everyone is talking about how to actually apply something that works. And that's why I don't like how this word is being overused. With my background in neuroscience, here's the thing. We are polluted with this idea that all we need to do is to just hope and wish that and try harder to become a better person, or try harder to build our business, or like, okay, I'm going to have a money mindset and I'm going to like sit in my lotus position and I'm going to really think about it really, really hard, and therefore it will happen. And this is why I really am passionately like, in fact, I'm thinking about taking that word out of all of the stuff that I do, because the reality is, if you want to be successful in your business and in your life, right, it's vital that you start to understand that it is all about the way you think, and that you have the capacity within you to stop being on autopilot and to start training your mind, to start training the way you think, to stop advocating for the beliefs that you have that have held you back. And that is why I'm so passionate about reaching 1 million of you to finally train the way you think so that you can have the things that you want in your life. Because here's what I fully and totally believe. You have a mission, a vision, and a calling on your life to help other people, to help get breakthroughs and transformations for other people. And if you continue to stay on autopilot and continue to not train the way you think, to think like somebody who has an 8-figure business so you can contribute at that level, to think like the person that no longer advocates for not being enough, to think like the person that actually believes that you can, to think as if you are that person now, and learn the skill to train that into your brain. My background in neuroscience, it's very, very clear to me as somebody who's studied neuropsychology, that the difference between someone who struggles and stays stuck and feels frustrated and overwhelmed and all of the things, and those who make those incremental gains, is all in the way that you're training the way you think. So one of the things I tell my clients all the time is it's not about a mindset. It's about purposefully, on purpose, defining and then training into your neural networks, into your brain's wave patterns, what you want. And so that your brain then goes out and helps you get it, versus the willpower. And willpower, guys, it doesn't work. It really is, it's like a muscle. It will fail after overuse, and that leads us to these cycles of overwhelm. Like we try, hope, wish, and then we say it's not working for us. What must be wrong with me? I'm overwhelmed. Forget it. I'll just go back and do what works. And that's our brain's job, to keep us safe. It's not our brain's job to make us successful. We have to actually take the lead in that. And I want that so much for you. I want you to no longer try to get a mindset. I want you to start to think about, how can I train the way I think so that I have the things that I want in my life? How can I become purposeful? And just talk to you about it, because to me, it's the biggest thing that's being kind of sold out there that is no longer serving you. you really have everything that you need, the capacity you need to train yourself, to take your thinking off autopilot, to really define what it is that you want, define who it is that you want to be, and start to show up in that way, but purposefully, not mindset training, brain priming. Prime your mind every morning and every evening through a process that helps you to finally 100% take responsibility for your thinking, and finally 100% know from the core of who you are that it's going to happen, that it's coming to pass. When I've done brain primings with, millionaire clients and multimillionaire clients, we put them in the state of being that it's already happened. And we keep them in that state of being every morning and every evening. So all the steps that they are taking every day, all the failures, all the missteps, all of it in their minds and in my mind culminates to get me to that place. They're not setbacks. Nothing is a setback. Everything happens for you. But you can't say those words, everything is happening for me, nothing is a setback, I can fail, if you haven't put your brain and trained your neural networks, your brain patterns to where you want to be. That's like seriously, guys, it's like getting in an airplane. And that's what I see a lot with people doing affirmations or mantras, all things that are part of priming. But then it's like getting in a cockpit of a plane and saying, okay, I want to get to New York from California and I'm going to start flying. And here I am, I'm flying now. But the reality is you don't know how to fly because you haven't put the GPS in the system. And getting that GPS in your brain system, in your software, in this beautiful gift of a brain that you have that's put there so that you can train it, so that you can train the way you want to go into your mind to be able to have the discipline, the self-control, and all of the things needed, the generosity, all of those things that are going to be required of you to get to that level. So this is something that has me so impassioned. Over the weekend, I was allowing myself to have a lot of internet time. And I just started watching like some of the language, some of the things that people are saying in this mindset genre. And the reality is, I feel like it's leading you astray. I feel like it's giving that idea that it's just going to somehow magically appear on you, or you're going to repeat enough mantras that it's going to work. And that's not true. I mean, from a brain science standpoint, that isn't true. What is true is stepping into purposefully defining the thing that you want, and then training your mind every single day to get you that place, get you to that being, so that you can have the things that you want and do the things that you want to do, make the impact that you want to have. That's one thing I know about you, is that you have big plans, you have these dreams, right? When you're not, working, you're like sitting there dreaming about, how can I make this impact? And I really want that for you. And the clients that I work with, these high performing people, a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between me and them? And really, this is the big difference. This is why I create the programs that I create. This is why I do what I do, because this is available to everyone. It's not something that, like, if you have enough money, then you can finally have this type of training. That's not true. You can absolutely learn the idea of brain priming, the idea of truly not just affirming, but through multiple dimension and layers, giving your brain what it needs to start to see what you want to have happen. So here's the thing. As you can tell, this really lights me up, and this is my calling, right? My calling is to reach 1 million of you entrepreneurs and self-driven, heart-centered, gonna change the world people, to finally really have 100% confidence, bold confidence that you're going to get there, and having that from a place of knowing that you've trained your mind, that you have trained the way you're thinking, and it is a matter of time, and then everything that starts to come through to you. This is the beautiful thing about the way our brains are wired, is as you start to really do this, as you train your thinking, not mindset, not hopeful thinking, not wish, not I'll say a couple mantras and hopefully it'll happen, but truly 100% responsibility, and train your mind, then you have this confidence, and then you're telling your brain, because our subconscious mind doesn't think on its own. It does what you tell it to over and over again. That's why you get stuck, because you don't purposefully do those things. So that is really, really cool that you have that power. But if I'm not able to help you unlock it, then that's not, me fulfilling my calling. But I would love to know if you're ready to start to learn how to train your thinking, to learn how to no longer be about a success mindset, but truly be a high performer, truly train your thinking so that you can step into that best version of yourself so much faster than if you were just to try and rely on willpower and all of that. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a hard worker, but to me, it's all about having the vision, having the clarity of exactly where I'm going and training my brain toward that every single day and every single evening. There's times when your subconscious is more susceptible to that kind of programming. This is what I do with my clients called brain priming. In fact, we're about midway through a coaching session group called the ESA VIPers, Epic Success Academies. And they are moving from removing their limiting beliefs, which is a brain-based process that I take them through, to vision brain priming. And that is where things start to shift. Guys, here's the thing. Here's what I need you to know that a lot of people don't love to hear. And this isn't the sexy thing that you get out there and you say, okay, this is what you're going to need to do. But we know, right? If we're working out and we're exercising, if we want to keep that physique, if we want to keep those gains, if we want to get to that place physically, we have to do what? What do we have to do? Right? We have to continue. We have to trust the process. We have to know in our minds that if we eat a certain way and if we work out a certain way, we will gain a certain results. Whether we choose to do that or not is a decision that we make, right? Well, it's the same thing with your success. It's the same thing with your success in your business, which is what I talk about mostly, but it's also the same thing when you get this, when you start to use these tools and really start to put the power of the brain to work for you, then you actually see your relationships improve. You see your health improve. You see your environment improve. Why? Because you become this person that you were always intended to be. You just had things layered on top of it, right? So we pull back those layers. We give vision and clarity to your brain so your mind can build the neural networks to get you there. And otherwise, you're going to always be working against your own brain. And let me tell you, subconscious always wins. You got to train your subconscious to get you to that place. I'm telling you, if you set your mind and truly trained your brain in the next month, just got on that path and started, meet with me every day. Let's chat about it every day. And let's get you little tiny pieces of the puzzle every day. And your breakthrough is so close. This is one of the things my clients and I talk about a lot. Your breakthrough is so much closer than you realize. And the only thing that's holding you back is the way you think. It's the automatic thinking, which isn't your fault. It's something you trained as a child, and your future pacing and how you're training your brain toward your future. And that's what I love to teach. And that is what I work on. Here's the thing. I really need you to know this. I'm only a few steps ahead of you guys. Yes, I have this background in neuropsychology, but I am walking it out on a daily basis. It's one of the things I'm going to share over the next week is how something big in our family, and I've been talking about it if you follow me on Instagram, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm at Dr. Shannon over there too, and I do a lot of daily stories, and I was talking a lot about this potential move we were going to do, and I'm telling you, all of the work I needed to do in my mind, I have been putting into full practice. So it's brought it back into such an intense, purposeful practice again, instead of an automatic practice for me. So I'm back in those trenches, and it feels so good to really start to say, no, this is exactly what I want, and lay that neural pathway, and then practice that neural pathway, and then trust the process. All my VIPers just got a planner. It's sent in the mail, or it's coming, that says trust the process on the spine of it. Because if you trust the process, you get there so much quicker than if you're trying to control the process or perfect the process along the way. All right, that's what I have for you today.